Okay guys, it's Mike from CrossFit 204 here, and we are doing the Massage Athletica newsletter with none other than Mike Booth himself. What we've got actually going on in the gym is, as we speak, we have our athletes outside doing a 5K run and about a 15K bike run. The idea is to give them a little bit of an endurance workout. We don't do it all that often, but what our goal here is to give people all different aspects of fitness. So on one end of the spectrum, you have the 1 rep max deadlift, where you're lifting as heavy a weight as you can for a work period of maybe 3 seconds. On the other end, you've got a 25-minute endurance workout, and we want to be good at both. Now, we're never going to have a 700-pound deadlift, and we're never going to have a 15-minute 5K, except for maybe Mike, but we're going to try and get our athletes to be pretty good at both. So we have a guy in here who can do a 500-pound deadlift and run about a 20-minute 5K. That's a pretty good balance of strength on one hand and endurance on the other. So that's what we're kind of trying to do. We actually did a running workout with Mike's running room clinic. And I wanted to sit him down here for the newsletter and talk to him a little bit about minimalist shoes. Mike's won the Manitoba Marathon 4 times, correct? And finished 10th this year?
7th.
7th?
I want to say 7th.
7th. A little worse time.
2:42.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring the camera on Mike, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions. The first one, I want to know about minimalist running shoes. So the CrossFit community is really big on innovates. Some of the flat shoes, some of the New Balance shoes are pretty flat. I want to know what those shoes do. Should CrossFitters be wearing them? What's Mike's opinion? Why do we want to wear them? Why don't we want to wear them? And then I'll ask him something else. So, Mike, please tell us about barefoot running shoes. Good or bad?
I don't think there's a black and white answer whether wearing a minimalist shoe is a good thing for the one person and a bad thing for another person. Depending on what activity you're doing. If you're doing a lifting activity, squats, then having a flatter shoe might be the way to go because it allows you to kind of set back on your heels a little bit more. A lot of the research shows that for example, a runner, if you wear a minimalist shoe, it's going to allow you to have proper running form, so it's going to set you in the right position. You're going to land on your forefoot. You're going to hips are going to be under you in the proper position. So it really depends on the individual person and what's right for their running form. Another thing that you really have to consider with barefoot running shoes is it definitely puts more of a load on the body. So to go out and run 13 miles with a barefoot type running shoe, it's just going to be a lot of load on your joints. So whatever you decide on, it's really about building into it and conditioning the lower body to being able to do it.
So it's very trendy, obviously, for people to see these shoes. They look cool. My favorite CrossFit celebrity is wearing them. Would it be a good choice, in your opinion, to just put on these shoes and decide, I'm going to do a 5K run?
I would say probably the quickest answer would be no. Again, I really think it's a matter of doing foot exercises and doing different strengthening exercises before you go out and you just put on the shoes. One of the best things to do is to probably break into using it. So if week 1 you're using it 5 minutes a day, week 2 you'll build into 10 minutes a day. I think where people kind of get themselves into trouble is when they start, oh, I have these brand new pair of minimalist shoes and they wear it every day, every hour of the day. That's when people get injured and they end up in the clinic.
Okay. With shoes like that, do they necessitate a change in mechanics in a running stride? Or can you just wear them without thinking at all about your running?
For sure. I think one of the easiest examples I give people is when I tell people to try running across your kitchen barefoot. You'll notice how different it is. You'll also notice you're going to land on your forefoot and you're going to land later on your foot. The problem with a more heavy-duty shoe, your kind of traditional running shoe, is it ends up, most people slam with their heel and put too much force into the kind of heel aspect of their foot. So that's where it's definitely a good thing to try barefoot and get yourself in the right positioning. I know at the end of the day I'm kind of contradicting myself. I go back and forth and there really is no right or wrong answer.
Okay, so the next question I want to ask you is along those same lines, is if you're trying to run better, the average CrossFitter, nobody tells people in school how to run. You basically just get kicked on a track and you're told to run fast. Yeah. What would you tell the average person in the CrossFit community, what would you tell them they could do in 5 minutes or something like that, just to basically improve their running mechanics and be better?
I think at the end of the day, good running form is good everyday posture. So you see here I'm slouched like this, that ends up leading to bad running form. So having good posture where you're cueing yourself. CrossFit is really big when somebody's doing a lift and doing different techniques on cueing the person to put them into the proper position. The same thing goes when it comes to running. I like to visualize or tell people to run tall. So an easy way to run tall is, I don't know, pretend you have a noose laced around your neck and it's causing you to run upright. That's one thing that you want to consider. Another big tip that you want to consider is think about putting something around almost a rope around your waist. And what that's going to do, as if somebody's pulling you, it's going to get your hips in a kind of upright, open position instead of slouching like this, like most people do when they get really fatigued. There's a whole bunch of different cues you can do. You can cue people to look 10 meters in front of them, so they're looking at a spot on the ground and not looking up into the skies. One thing is arm positioning. You want to have your arms at 90-degree angle. You want to avoid crossing the body. You see a lot of people cross their body and that causes wasted energy. So at the end of the day, cueing is what it really comes down to for better running form.
Along the same lines of cueing and inefficiency, talk to me a little bit about the stride mechanics and why people want to think about pulling heels to butt. Does that have something to do with levers and how the way the body works?
For sure. But with running form, you really want to think, one of the most important things is think about striking, having your foot land right under the center of your body. If you're landing, if your foot's out in front of you, that's going to cause a lot of action from your hamstrings. You really want to think about when you're running, it's all about activating your glutes. So you want to be really landing underneath your center of gravity so your glutes can be doing the action, not your hamstrings. All right, so those are a few of the things that we want to think when we're running, and I will tell you this as a little bit of a teaser. There is going to be a running event in the CrossFit 204 Classic that's coming up on August 18th here at the gym. So I won't tell you the distance of the run, but I will tell you that it will be between 400 and 1.5 kilometers, and it will be scored just the run. There's going to be some additional stuff to that workout, but there is going to be a running workout. Think about that. Think about endurance, think about strength, think about the blend of all of it together. That's kind of what we're looking for in CrossFit. Thanks as always to Mike, not just for letting us be in his newsletter, but also for giving us some running mechanics. If you need to contact him, how do you do it? You can contact me at massageathletica.com. And if you need massage stuff, he's the guy to see. Thanks very much. Hope to see you at August 18th at the CrossFit 204 Classic. And if you need anything else, you can check all our workouts out on CrossFit204.com. Thanks, guys.